When my top model left my agency, I went from making 260k a month to 30k a month overnight because my agency relied on one client, and that will never happen again, because in this video I will show you how to actually decentralize your agency, build fulfillment teams and scale without having to be in the business 24/7. And so if you're still chatting, managing and doing everything yourself, you'll actually never scale. And here's how I went from literally burnt out with that one model to actually scaling my agency back from 30k a month to over $1 million a month, with now managing over 200 creators with little to no stress. I barely work like on my agency. Like I maybe spend like 6 to 8 hours a week on my agency. So, you know, I get to live life. I'm in my fucking house in Cape Town, just like chilling right now. And you know, life's good, and I've literally only been able to do this because I've been able to decentralize myself. So arguably this might be one of the most important videos that I've ever uploaded, because this is why most entrepreneurs get stuck, because they have no idea how to decentralize. They have no idea how to actually scale. What even is scale? What even is decentralization? We're going to talk about all of that in this video today. So it's going to be a good one. It's going to be a long one. Lock in, turn your phone on do not disturb, tell your mum that you don't have to clean the dishes, you're locking in, you're trying to build generational wealth. Because I'm going to show you everything I know today. So, that being said, let's just get straight into it. Let's cut to the video. Alright, so I was doing 100 grand a month managing OnlyFans creators, and I hated my life, right? I was on Zoom calls all day, dealing with fucking team drama, fixing creator crises, and reviewing analytics, tweaking ads, setting appointments, answering DMs, fixing tech, you name it, right? And every time I tried to take a day off, something broke, I had to put out more fires, right? A campaign stalled, a creator freaked out, a creator left, a chatter disappeared, and suddenly I'm back in the fucking trenches. Now, maybe you're in that place right now. Maybe you are doing 100 grand a month, 200 grand a month, 300 grand a month, 50 grand a month, 10 grand a month. Doesn't matter, right? You're probably in that place. You've got revenue, you've got momentum, but it all runs through you, right? You're the glue holding everything together. And every time you grow, you just add more stress, and you think you're building a business. What you're really building is a fucking prison, right? You're in golden handcuffs. It took me 12 months of burnout breakdowns and some very real conversations with myself to realize that this isn't sustainable, because I either burn the agency down and have to rebuild every time, or I learn how to build it without me, okay? And so I did, right? I figured out how to decentralize it. I spent thousands upon thousands upon thousands on coaching and programs to figure this out. And I got out of the daily chaos, right? I built systems, I hired right, I automated where I could, I simplified everything. And today we do just over or just under, depending, 2 million a month. And I work 4 hours a day, right? And not because I'm smarter, not because I worked harder, but because I finally understood that scale actually doesn't come from doing more. It comes from doing less, better, and letting other people and systems carry the weight. So, this is a massive misconception. I know Hamosi talks about this a lot, and when I met Hamosi in Vegas, we had this conversation, but everyone seems to think there's this like mantra that like you have to work harder, and that like work ethic is what gets you paid, and work ethic is, and I'm gonna outwork everyone. And it's like, firstly, like Hamosi says, like, you're not gonna outwork everyone. There's probably someone outworking you, and even if you are, like, that doesn't mean shit, because yeah, all you guys right now watching this video probably work way harder than me and outwork me, but I make way more money than you and way more progress way faster. And it's because I have a fucking team that you do not outwork, right? There's 50 people that work for me, that are doing work for me. Those cumulative hours of those 50 people working on my behalf every single day is 50x what you can do in a day, right? And so that's where leverage comes in. And that's where people don't understand. Because it's not as easy to just go and hire 50 people, right? And people are like, oh, I need money, and so on and so forth. But this is where actually understanding how to start to decentralize the business comes into, where you can scale to 50 people. Otherwise, you're never going to get it, right? Or you're just going to have a bunch of like headless chickens running around that you've hired and you pay, and you're like, I don't even know what they're doing. I didn't even know how to tell them what to do. I'm just like completely lost. Like, are they even bringing value? Like, am I just like, I'm just going to start doing everything myself again because no one's doing as good a job as me? And if that's you, like, this is going to help, right? So that's key, right? And just to reiterate on that, scale doesn't come from doing more or working harder or putting in more hours. If that's how you think, I promise you, you need to reprogram your brain right now, because it just doesn't, right? It comes from doing less. It really does come from doing less, right? And if you're one of those people that thinks you need to work all the time and do this and do that, you're just going to burn yourself out, and you're never going to grow something that matters, right? Because you need to actually spend time thinking or hiring people. Like, that is the two main things. The most valuable things you can do as a founder is working on yourself, on your mindset, thinking, shadow work, so on and so forth, or hiring people, finding talent, attracting talent, right? That is key. So again, I will say it one more time. Scale doesn't come from doing more, working harder. It comes from doing less, better, and letting other people and systems carry the weight. And that's what I'm going to show you today, right? This video is for the agency founder who's drowning in growth, who's tired of hearing you just need to hustle harder, right? Who wants to actually scale, but without burning out or breaking down. So if that's you, listen up, because I'm going to give you everything. The exact steps that I took, the mistakes I made, the systems I used, and you can literally steal my blueprint and apply it today. So here's where we start, right? What I call the founder's trap. Every agency starts with you doing everything, and that is fine in the beginning, right? You have no money, you have to figure things out, but then you get traction. And the problem is, the more traction you get, the more problems you have. The more clients means more onboarding, more creators means more chat management, more revenue means more accounting, taxes, reporting. And so every win actually creates more weight. And if all of that runs through you, you break. And so you stop growing, not because you're not capable, not because you don't work hard enough, but because you become the bottleneck. And when you're the bottleneck, you are the business. You can't sell it, you can't step away, you can't scale it. And so we have to do something that most founders are terrified of. We have to remove you from the center. And that's a harsh reality that you have to face, right? And here's how we do it, right? I call it SEED, S-E-A-D. Simplify, eliminate, automate, delegate. 4 steps, right? Four steps. If you follow them, you will build an agency that runs without you. And if you skip even one, you'll stay stuck forever. So let's break it down. So step 1 is simplify, right? You need to cut complexity like your business depends on it, because it does, quite literally. So you should have one of everything. Like, just keep it simple. Rather than having like two offers and 2 different avatars that you serve and 2 different ways to get subscribers and 2 different types of chatting teams, you just want one everything, right? Like one offer, one avatar, one traffic generation system, and so on and so forth, right? And so that's what you want, right? Keep it simple, because everything else is noise, right? And so why does that matter? It's because if you serve multiple types of clients, or you you have multiple offers and so on and so forth, then you need multiple systems, multiple scripts, multiple funnels, multiple teams, and every multiple is a tax on your energy and time. And I'm telling you right now, right? Simplify or suffer, right? All we have is our time and energy, and our focus dictates how fast we move, right? And that all comes from our time and energy, right? And so whether you like it or not, you spend a finite amount of your time and energy every single day until you die. And focus is the force multiplier of time and energy. And so you need to start to spend it wisely. And that is how you're going to grow fast, right? So simplify or suffer, right? When we simplify to one avatar, one offer, one funnel, one marketing message, etc., everything got easier, right? One onboarding flow, one training system, one sales script, one content strategy, one ad account. Suddenly, we didn't need 10 people to do what 3 people could. We weren't waking up to a new crisis every morning. We could breathe, right? Because simplification is leverage. And the more you simplify, the more powerful you become. That's step 1, simplify. Step 2, eliminate. You need to ask yourself, what are you actually trying to achieve here, right? For us, it was simple. We wanted to book 1,500 calls a month, deliver insane results, close more deals. That's it. If a task didn't help us, then it got cut, right? If a task didn't help us do those things, it got cut. I looked at my calendar and said, why am I still doing this? Why am I still, approving posts? Why am I on this meeting? Why am I checking this report? And most importantly, what happens if I stop? Turns out, after the stuff I was doing, probably more than half, to be honest, didn't even move the needle at all. It was just me maintaining. It was just stuff that I thought I had to do because it was stuff that I was doing at the start. It was stuff that other people told me I needed, and I felt like I needed to be productive and work in the business, because otherwise I felt guilty that, oh, my team's working harder than me, and so on and so forth, right? The truth is, a lot of what you think is necessary isn't, right? That is the truth. A lot of the things that you think are necessary just isn't. And if stuff doesn't generate revenue, drive fulfillment, or keep your team operational, then it just needs to go. And so your job is not to be busy. Your job is to drive growth and protect the machine, nothing else, right? You need time to think. You shouldn't be working in the business. So I eliminated 80% of my weekly tasks. I stopped micromanaging the team. I cut back on Slack. I nuked pointless meetings. My calendar right now is fucking empty. I shit you not. I have nothings on my calendars. I have maybe 2-3 calls a week maximum, and I run 2 businesses. My goal is to have my calendar empty so I can focus on what actually matters, right? And so that is the biggest key that you can have, okay? So, again, I eliminated 80% of my weekly tasks, stopped micromanaging the team, cut back on Slack, nuked pointless meetings. even got rid of some clients, and our business got better, right? We grew faster, my team stepped up, and I got my time back. So that is step 2, right? Eliminate. Now, step 3 is automate. This one's fun. Everyone thinks automation is about software, but really it's about design. You're building a machine, and the machine should run as little as human input as possible. So start with anything that's repeated. Are you posting content every week? Automate it. Are you uploading sales calls? Automate it. Are you writing creator bios, setting up funnels, reviewing reports, managing receipts? Automate it. If it's repeated, it's a system. And if it's a system, it should be automated, right? So that is key, right? You can use ChatGPT to do certain stuff. You can use Zapier to sync tools. You can use Google Sheets to track data. We even built like auto response logic for our IG DMs, right? And you can use like ManyChat and stuff like that. It's not about being fancy, it's about being free. And every automation gives you your time back. And time is one thing that you cannot buy more of. Like I said, you spend a finite energy of your time and energy every single day. And how you delegate that time and energy is how going to dictate where you're at in 5 years. So that's step 3, right? Step 3, automate. Now, step 4, the last step, delegate. Now, here's where most founders mess up. They hire people, but they don't give them the systems. And then they wonder why those people fail, or like why they're not doing as well as they can, or whatever, right? Or they try and find unicorns and all this stuff. You don't hire rock stars, you hire people who can follow instructions. So your job is to build world-class instructions, and you will have world-class performers, right? And so you're not always going to be able to find the unicorns that can do everything that you can do better. Sometimes it could take 2 or 3 people to do what you can do, right? And that's fine. That's something you need to understand. So we created SOPs for everything: hiring, onboarding, cold DMs, chat scripts, appointment setting, creator, reporting, everything on a video, a checklist, a spreadsheet. And if I disappeared for a month, the business would keep running because the instructions were clear. And I literally disappeared for 3 months, from February all the way up until literally last month in Cape Town, doing nothing. Pretty much. I did nothing for 3 months. I just lived life, and it was crazy. I spent like 500 grand and it was fun. And I made more than that by doing nothing, right? So that's delegation done right? Not just handing stuff off, but creating systems that don't break when people leave. And I try and have at least 3 months of every year off, right? I do 9 months of working and like working on what I want to work on and so on and so forth. And the 3 months just completely off doing nothing. That's why I get to reset, lock in, focus, right? And here's the secret. The more you document, the more freedom you get. So if you want a real business, build it like a franchise, right? Predictable, repeatable, delegatable, and scalable. And that is the game. And when you play it right, you can unlock what every entrepreneur really wants, which is freedom, okay? Not just money freedom, not just time freedom, not just location freedom, but mental freedom. The ability to wake up and know that your business is running, your team is winning, your clients are happy, and you're not stuck in the weeds anymore. That's what true decentralization gives you, right? Peace, power, and the ability to grow forever without losing your mind, okay? So if you're stuck in your business right now, here's what I would do, right? Take out a blank sheet, write down every part of your business: sales, marketing, client delivery, support, finance, admin, everything. Then circle the ones that still depend on you, and that's your problem. And now you have the roadmap to fix it. Simplify it, eliminate the fluff, automate what's left, delegate with systems. Do that, and I promise you, you'll stop being the business. You'll start being the architect, and you'll finally scale without sacrifice. So if you want all my SOP templates, hiring docs, automation stack, systems, tracking, quite literally everything from every aspect of the business, from sales to marketing to client delivery to acquisition, admin, finance, every single thing that has got me to over $2 million or just under $2 million a month, depending on the month, like I said, then literally just fucking click the link somewhere around this video and book a call. And yeah, it's a sales call. I'm not going to give you this stuff for free. Like, what do you expect? But yeah, if that's you, book the call. It's going to be a sales call. Well, it's actually going to be a call first, not a sales call first. We're not going to ask you to get a credit card out in your first call, because we're not just going to hand over these systems to anyone. We want to make sure that you're someone that can actually implement it and it'll benefit you. So the first call is actually going to be a triage call. And the triager is going to literally see if you're a good fit. And I'm not saying like, oh, if you're a good fit for my course. It's not a course. I'm legitimately giving you my systems. They're actually going to see where you're at. So click the link, fill out the form, book a call. Based on how you fill out the form in the first call will depend if you actually get to the sales call. If you're qualified, you get to the sales call. We will try and sell you our systems. And yeah, it's very fucking expensive. And yeah, that's it. I'm just going to be straight up. I barely ever like sell or pitch on these videos. I just make free value, but I generally know that this is going to help a lot of you, especially if you resonate with this video. So if you want all my systems, you don't want to take all the effort, time, and energy to go and build this all yourself, then yeah, that's it. Click the link. We'll send it over, And yeah, just don't waste it, right? Because if you don't build the infrastructure, then you'll always be one hire away from collapse and one burnout away from quitting. So decentralize now or suffer later. Your choice. Click the link, but call my team if you want the systems. If not, I hope you enjoyed and build your own systems. Great, phenomenal. I will see you at the top. Comment what other videos you want to see me make next. Follow me on IG at DilnoFM and join my free Skool community. Peace.